The Bible is a sacred text that has been a cornerstone of faith for millions of people around the world. However, the true lessons of the Bible are often distorted or misrepresented by mainstream media, making it challenging for people to grasp its authentic message. Mainstream media's portrayal of the Bible is frequently superficial, focusing on sensational stories or cherry-picking verses to support a particular agenda. This approach not only misrepresents the Bible's teachings, but also creates a shallow understanding of its profound wisdom. One reason mainstream media fails to convey the true lessons of the Bible is its tendency to focus on controversy rather than context. News outlets often seize on provocative or divisive issues, such as debates over biblical interpretations or scandals involving religious leaders. While these stories may generate attention and ratings, they rarely provide a nuanced understanding of the Bible's core teachings. By emphasizing controversy over context, mainstream media creates a distorted view of the Bible, reducing its rich and complex message to sound bites and headlines. Another issue is the lack of biblical literacy among mainstream media professionals. Many journalists and commentators have limited knowledge of the Bible, its historical context, and its cultural significance. This lack of understanding leads to misinterpretations and misrepresentations of biblical teachings, resulting in a watered-down or inaccurate portrayal of the Bible's message. For example, the media often cites biblical verses out of context, ignoring the historical and cultural circumstances in which they were written. This approach not only distorts the meaning of individual verses but also undermines the overall narrative of the Bible. Furthermore, mainstream media's secular bias can also lead to a skewed representation of the Bible. Many news outlets and journalists operate from a secular perspective, which can lead to a dismissive or hostile attitude towards religious beliefs. This bias can result in a lack of depth and understanding when reporting on biblical issues, as well as a tendency to marginalize or ridicule those who hold traditional religious views. By failing to engage with the Bible on its own terms, mainstream media misses the opportunity to explore its profound insights into human nature, morality, and the human condition. In addition, the 24-hour news cycle and the demands of social media can also contribute to a superficial understanding of the Bible. The pressure to produce content quickly and the need to attract large audiences can lead to oversimplification and sensationalism, rather than thoughtful analysis and reflection. This environment encourages clickbait headlines and simplistic sound bites, rather than in-depth exploration and nuanced discussion. As a result, the Bible's rich and complex teachings are reduced to simplistic or provocative statements, losing their depth and meaning in the process. To truly understand the lessons of the Bible, one must engage with the text itself, rather than relying on mainstream media's interpretation. This requires a willingness to read and study the Bible in its entirety, rather than relying on selected verses or summaries. It also involves seeking out diverse perspectives and interpretations, including those from biblical scholars, theologians, and faith leaders. By taking a more nuanced and thoughtful approach, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of the Bible's teachings and their relevance to contemporary life. In conclusion, mainstream media's portrayal of the Bible is often superficial, lacking in depth and understanding. By focusing on controversy, lacking biblical literacy, and operating from a secular bias, mainstream media fails to convey the true lessons of the Bible. The 24-hour news cycle and the demands of social media also contribute to a superficial understanding of the Bible, reducing its profound wisdom to simplistic sound bites and headlines. To truly grasp the Bible's teachings, individuals must engage with the text itself, seeking out diverse perspectives and interpretations, and approaching the subject with nuance, thoughtfulness, and an open mind. Only then can we hope to learn the true lessons of the Bible and appreciate its enduring wisdom and relevance to our lives.